Well, another late night in the Patman garage, and I got the second shelf hung up. So it turned out really nice, and they are different heights for a reason. So initially I hung this one up at the minimum height, which I think is listed as 24 inches, I think. And I decided I could go if I could just go 2 inches higher, then I'd be able to clear my head underneath it, which would be really nice for walking around in the garage. So here's the difference between the modified shortened brackets and the original height, minimum height. So I can actually walk around under it, which makes a big difference. Obviously it's very close to the top of my head, but it's totally doable. So now, unfortunately, that does mean that I get to completely unload this one, uninstall it, modify it, and reinstall it, but it really shouldn't take that long because everything's already prefabbed, and basically just need to drop it and cut the shelving brackets. So I'll probably just end up offloading from one shelf to the other for temporary storage purposes, and then we'll modify it and then reload it back over. Alright, so Fiddy's out of the garage for the evening project, and we're gonna get the stuff moved off of the first shelf onto the second shelf. We're gonna drop the first shelf back down, shorten my brackets, and then dump everything back over the other side. So here we go. The shelf pops off super fast. There's a handful of screws on the corners, so one on each corner, and then we're left with the down legs. So I'm gonna unbolt up there, and then I'll unbolt the two pieces. We'll chop off the same amount we chopped off before for the other shelf, and we'll do the same thing on all of them. We'll hang them back up, and then we're done. All right, so that's the last one getting cut and modified. So we'll grab the gun and grab the bracket, and we'll go get it hung up. All right, so I'm gonna see how Grace, oh, I put that one on backwards. That one's, I have to turn that one. But other than my screw up there, so the brackets have this little ledge on them. Let's see if I can show you there. So the shelf drops down into that bracket, like so. And so you have one on each corner, and the shelf will actually hang itself in place without needing any hardware initially, and then you go back and put the hardware in it, except for I did this one wrong, so I'm going to have to turn this one 90 degrees. All right, I'm going to see if I can get this thing hung up by myself again, and yeah, here we go. All right, well that went well. So all four corners are just chilling, hanging on the brackets like that. Oh goodness, you can't see anything. There you go. So then you just put a bolt on the corner, and then that squeezes everything together. Now the downside to this setup of having two side by side like this is this screw is going to be buried behind the shelf. So I'm going to do this one first, and I'm just going to lean out on pull a whole shelf assembly this way a little bit, snug it down, and then push it back into place before I tighten up the other ones. And then finally, now that I got that shelf bolted back in, I do need to snug up my hardware on top just to make sure it hadn't, make sure it's actually tight. And the last thing I want to do is actually bolt the two shelves together as close as I can get them, which I think will also help with reinforcement. So I dug in the old Patman parts bin, and I got some hardware that matches the hardware on the, oh, maybe not. I was thinking those were going to be I might have to drill one of those out. Huh. Okay, well, I might be drilling a hole out, and then I'll be threading a bolt from the other side. We'll see how this goes. Hold on. All right, so I got my bolt installed. Ended up using 7 washers was the right amount to get them to snug down between each other, but also not like crush, because there needs to be space because of the way that the brackets overlap, and there's bolt heads in there and all that. So like I said, the spacer amount was just right, and actually the shelving feels even stronger now with the 2 sections bolted together. So really happy with that. And yeah, we're gonna load this thing back up and move on to something else. And that is a wrap. So I got everything moved back over to the far shelf for now. And then I'll probably end up doing some boxes or something on this closer shelf, something that's easier to get, that I need more access to sooner, faster, whatever. But it's still a tight fit, but you know, we're clearing. So I'm slowly gaining confidence about not having to duck. But it looks good. I'm happy with the purchase. It was, I think, a little bit over $300 for both the racks as a 2-pack, even though they came on 2 different days. But like I said, plenty happy with them for what they are. They're nothing fancy, but you know, I've seen similar racks that are for multiple hundreds more. So I will link the description of the Amazon purchase down in the description down there, and that way, in case you decide you want to do something similar, you can. They also have it in a 4x6 size, which I assume are the same 2x3 panels, just clocked 90 degrees, and then you'd get 4 of them instead of 3. So since this is the 3 foot by 6 foot, it's 3 foot by 6 foot is 1 3-foot panel, 2 3-foot panels, 3 3-foot panels, and then obviously the second rack is the same thing on the far end. So I think if you get the 4x6, I think you would basically get like these 2 plus these 2 as 4x6. At least that's my guess. Anyways, I appreciate y'all checking out another video, and this is another update of the garage, but we'll keep plugging away at it and get more settled in here, and hopefully soon have another Coyote truck here to start working on. So I appreciate y'all, and I will catch you in the next one.